Hello students, welcome back. So now I will show you the examples of group buy. So the table I'll be using would be shipping tables, orders tables, and customers. So this is how my schema looks like. So you have customers table, you have orders and shipping, and order customers have three columns: customer ID, name, and city. This one actually is a primary key. Orders has these columns right here: order ID, customer ID, amount, order date, and item. Your customer ID is the foreign key. In other words, it means that it's linked to this table using this one-to-many relationship. Order ID is the primary key in orders table. Then you have shipping table. Inside shipping table, you have shipping ID. That's your primary key. Orders ID, that's your foreign key. And this foreign key means basically the value from here is coming from this table right here. Okay, so let's go and create this table. So first thing I'm doing, I'm dropping the table if it exists shipping, and I'm also dropping the table orders if it exists, and I'm also dropping the table customers if it exists. After that, I create the table customers, I create the table orders right here, and then I create the table shipping. Also, all the keys are listed over here. Then I come down over here, then I insert these records into the customers, and these are the records I'm inserting into customer table. Then I'm inserting some records into the order table. Then I'm inserting some records into the shipping table. Okay, so assuming that we have done all this step before, actually I showed you in the previous session how this was done, so you can just watch that, or you can just copy these commands and just read on this thing. This is going to work just fine. Okay, so after this is done, your table will look something like this. So you will have three tables: customers, orders, and shipping. And customer ID, that's your primary key over here. This is linked to the orders table. That's this one right here. And you can see that customer ID over here, like 1 1 2 3, all these numbers, they are coming from here. Order ID in the orders table, that's your primary key. That's what this PK is. This is your shipping table. In your shipping table, you have ship ID, this is your primary key, and order ID, that's your foreign key. So these values over here, they're coming from here, from this orders table. Suppose somebody says, display me the customer name with their order count. I also want to know the customer name, and I want to know their order count. So in this particular instance, you are getting your result from two different sources. You're getting your result from your customer table and also from the orders table. So in this case, I'll be joining. So the first thing you want to do is join your customers to your order. So this is how I join. So if you recall, go back to your schema. Your customer, sorry, the other, you can either look at this one or this one. Your customer, or sorry, your customer table, which is this one, is linked to the orders table using customer ID. This is your foreign key. This is the linking one. So that's why I'm using that right here. So customer table is through the customer ID is linked to the orders table with or customer ID. So now I want to select customer name, and then I want to group by customer name, right? So you say, you have to select customer name, and then you say order. Okay, count the order, like how many orders have been ordered a week by this customer, and that's going to give you the customer name along with their order count. So let's go ahead and run this. So I'm going to copy this, come over here and paste it, and let's run this, and there you go. So these are the customers: Fisher, Mozart, Shankar, Vogel, Wagner, with their order count. So let's verify one of them. Let's look at Mozart. He says it has two order counts. So if you come over here, Mozart is this right here. His customer ID is 3. So you're going to see two customer ID because it says two order count. Let's verify that customer ID 3 should be twice, once and twice. Yes, he ordered 2 items. You can see that right here. This is your Mozart. Okay, next one. Let's say somebody says, hey, display me customer name with the order count exactly equal to 2. So in this case, you want not all order counts. You just want only the ones with the order count equal to 2. So the query is same as this right here. Let me just put this is the whoops. Yeah, this is the one, and this is my second one right here. So in this case, display the customer name with the order count equal to 2. So all you have to do is just put this clause, having order count equal to 2. That's all you have to do. So come over here, copy this, and paste this query over here, and let's run this. And now you're going to see only those customers whose order count equal to 2: Mozart, Shankar, and Wagner. Only these three people have the order count 2. Okay, now suppose somebody asks you that, hey, display me the customer ID with their order count and the total amount spent. So in this case, they want two additional information. They want the how much was the order count, and also what was the total amount of money they spent with the customer ID. Okay, so in this case, I can just find all this information only from one table, orders table. If you go back and take a look at your orders table, right here, you see orders table is this one right here. So inside your order tables, you can find the amount and the customer ID. So everything is basically there, and also the height. Yeah, you can find like this data from these table right here. So come back over here. I'm selecting customer ID. I'm counting how many the order count. So count how many customer IDs order count, and I'm grouping by customer ID. So and also printing the sum of the amount, like how much each of the what was the total amount of money that was spent by each customer ID. So copy, paste it over here, and run it. And there you go. So customer ID 1, his order count is 2, and the total amount spent is 375. Let's verify this customer ID 1. Customer ID 1 is this guy right here. There's 1 over here, and there's 1. And if you count the total, is 250 plus 125 is 375. So his total amount is total spend is 375. Order count is 2. That makes sense because there are only 2 of them. You can see that 1 and 2. Okay, next one. Let's say somebody says, show me customers who have made more than one order along with their maximum amount, minimum amount, average amount. You want all this information. So in this particular instance right here, the query I'll be running would be this right here. So I'll be saying select customer.customer ID. Now in this particular instance, you are actually using two tables. Okay, since you're using two tables, you will be using join. So I'm joining customers with orders. So I want customer ID that's going to come from customers table. I want the customer name that's going to come from customers table, and I want to count how much or how many items that they ordered. So in this saying count orders.order ID. Then I'm also want to know the minimum amount they spent and the maximum amount they spent. So these information is coming from the orders table. Also want to know the average. What is the average that was spent? This information is coming from orders table. Then I'm grouping by customer ID and customer name. I don't really need the customer name, by the way, so you can actually just yeah, you know what, let's just keep this. So in this case, I want both of the information, customer ID and customer name. So come to think of it, don't really need the customer. Let's remove the customer ID. Don't really need this information. This is a useless. Okay, come over here and let's remove this part. Sorry, let's remove this part right here. Let's just do customer name. Okay, customer name, and then that's it. So in this case, I'm just want the customer name, and that's it. Yeah. So let's run this query. So let me go ahead and select this. Come over here, paste it, and let's run this query. And there you go. So it tells me the minimum spend, the maximum spend, for each one of them, and only is going to show me the ones whose order count is more than 2. Okay, because I'm putting this condition right here, having count is more than 1. So anybody who spent more than 1, it's not going to show 1, it's only going to show higher than 1. So in this case, it's only showed those people. Okay, let's say somebody says, hey, show me, I want to know how much minimum, maximum, total spend, and average have been spent on all the items. Okay, so now you want to know on all the items. So in this case, you say select item, minimum amount as minimum amount, maximum, sum, average. In this case, I'll be using only one table, orders table. So grouping by item. So copy this, come over here. So in this case, I'm just using that orders table, and I'm finding the minimum, maximum, and sum and the average. And there you go. So it tells me let me just increase the size of the screen so you can see. There you go. So you can see that computer, the minimum amount that has been spent on the computer is 125. You can actually come over here. You can verify computers, 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 computers. If you look at the computers, your minimum spend that has been done on the computers is 125. Let's see. Yes, it is 125. You see that this is 300. This computer spent 150. This computer spent 350. So the minimum that was spent on computers is 125. It gave you 125. Great. Same thing, you can verify a maximum amount, total spend, and the average amount of money spent on the computers. Same thing with the phone, gives you minimum, maximum, and total spend. Okay, let's see. Let's do the next one. Let's say now somebody says, hey, I want to know how much minimum, maximum, total, average have been spent on items that is equal to computer, only the computer items. So in this case, you want to use some filter condition. So you say select item, minimum, maximum, average, okay, all that. And in this case, you have put this condition where item equal to computer. All right, so copy this, and that's only going to display just the computer part. So it's only going to show you all the stats for only computers. Copy, run this, and there you go. It only shows computers now. Okay, next one. Let's say somebody asks you, hey, calculate me the aggregation, which is minimum, maximum, sum, and average on the amount grouped by shipping status. So in this case, you're using shipping table. So you want to know the minimum amount that was spent, the maximum amount, the sum, the average. Now in this case, you have two tables. You have orders tables and you have shipping table. So how are these joined? Well, let's go back, take a look at your schema. Your orders table, oops, you can either take a look at this one or this one. Your orders table is linked to the shipping table with order ID. Order ID over here is connecting to the order ID on the shipping table. So coming back to this right here, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm connecting order ID with the order table with shipping in the shipping table. I'm using alias over here, by the way. Orders, I'm using O, and for shipping, I'm using alias S right here. Okay, and then I'm grouping by status. Okay, shipping status, because that's what I want. I want to group by status. That's what they want. Okay, so come over here, copy this, and let's run this query. And there you go. So delivered, which is these items right here, shipped, delivered, delivered, So the minimum amount that has been spent on delivered item is 75 rupees or $75, and maximum amount that has been spent is 300. Total amount that has been spent on delivered items is 625, and the average is 156. You can actually go verify each one of them. Actually, let's just see if we can verify. Let's see. Actually, you know what? There's shipped, delivered, shipped. So go ahead, verify at least one of them. So this way, it'll give you an idea what's the minimum amount that has been spent on delivered by going through this table and this table. Next one. Suppose somebody says list total spending per customer sorted from the highest to the lowest. So in this case, you want to know the total spending, okay, for each customer. But in this particular instance, you also want to sort them from highest to the lowest. So in this case, all you're doing, you're basically connecting your orders table, customer table with the orders on the customer ID, because these two tables are linked like that. You're grouping by customer name. And in this case, you're putting order by clause right here. Okay, that's the only difference. So this query is pretty much the same as the one we did before, but now I'm just putting an order by clause. So when I run this, copy and paste, and let's run that. There you go. So now it's going to order by total spend. So the most money, the person who spent the most money is Shankar right here. 400, 375, next this, next this. And the guy who spent the least money is Fisher, because it's ordering by total spend on descending order.